I got touched, groped by something. I'm not very good at telling stories, so I apologize if I ramble or explain stuff badly. My friend had been going on for a while that he found a haunted spot by his house while walking his dog. Sounds dumb, I know, and to be honest, I didn't really believe him, as he is one to exaggerate these kinds of things. But he said that his dog always refused to walk into this little clearing off the path. So he had gone up without him and got a weird feeling when he was there, and said he had seen something out of the corner of his eyes moving around him. I didn't believe him, but he wanted someone to back him up and explain to other people that this is true. Well, he's my friend, and he told me he would buy me some KFC on the way back if I did this for him. Anyways, we went up there at about 7 p.m., so it was still light outside, and the place he was talking about is literally just a little clearing you can see from the path. We walked into it, and it did have an odd feeling to it, but I figured he had just creeped me out with a story. He had a digital camera with him, and he went to start taking pictures, but said his battery was dead, and that he had just charged it before he left. I said to just use his phone, as I wanted to go as it was getting cold outside. Then while I was waiting for him, I felt a hand, like clear as day, squeeze my breast, like hard. I freaked and ran for the car. My friend got there a few minutes after, and I said I felt something touch me. He said he wanted to go back, but I refused, and he took me home. So yeah, that's my experience. Not sure what else to say, but kinda wanted to tell people, as I've never experienced anything like it before. Though not anyone I actually know, as I'm guessing they will want to drag me back there, or just think I'm crazy. A ghost touched my butt. This happened a few months ago, before the start of April, when I went to find a prom dress. My boyfriend was going to wear a silvery gray tuxedo, and he looked absolutely wonderful in it, and I had my sights set on this blue shimmery ballroom-style dress that I had at home. It was picked up last summer because it was $8, but my grandmother didn't approve of how old-fashioned it was. "You don't want to embarrass your boyfriend, do you?" She chided me whenever I brought up using the blue dress I already had. You see, my problem is that my body shape isn't meant for the A-line style of prom dresses that are so irately popular. I have a small waist, but my stomach bulges out in front, and I have a very broad back and shoulders, which meant a lot of dresses would not fit right in the shoulders. I did find one A-line dress that actually looked decent on me. A shimmery blue, green with ruffles in the front, with delicate straps. Now, the problem was, because of my broad back and shoulders, it would not zip up, nor could I wear the straps. My grandmother, very stubborn to make sure I do not wear that ball gown dress that fit perfectly, decided to take me thrift shopping. Now, unluckily for her, most if not all the thrift shop prom dresses were really old-fashioned ones, and we even found some that looked as if they were from the 80s, and the rest would either break school dress codes or wouldn't fit right, you know? You were in one aisle, which was really a bunch of racks lined up, and I was standing in the middle of it, watching my grandmother flip through dresses and shaking her head repeatedly and repeatedly. I pulled up my phone to text a friend when I felt something warm touch the top part of my butt cheek, as if someone slipped their hand down my very loose jeans. I spun around, ready to shout at the pervert. But there wasn't anyone there. The creepy thing was that I was so far in the middle that if someone really did do that, they would have had to run down the aisle to avoid me seeing them when I turned around like that. And there were no footsteps on the hardwood floor that was prone to creaking. They couldn't have hid in the clothing rack either, because not only were dresses not swinging like they should have been, but I tried to wedge myself in one of them to see if they did exactly that. And it was hard getting in there, so there was no way that anyone could have done that in the time it took me to just turn around like that. I didn't tell my grandmother about it eventually, but I noticed how uneasy she looked. She's Native American in descent, and she is sensitive to the paranormal. Then again, her face and that stressed look on her face, it could have just been the stress of not finding a prom dress that met her approval. I don't know. So, to the perverted ghost in the thrift store, let's not meet again. Something grabbed my shoulder last night. First time poster here with a throwaway account. Something really weird happened to me last night and left me really unsettled. At about 2 a.m. last night, I was brushing my teeth in the bathroom when I felt a hand close on my left shoulder, like something grabbed me. It was unmistakable, like when you're sitting somewhere not paying attention, reading a boom or something, and someone you know comes by to say hi by doing the same thing. I thought it was my fiancée at first, but she was in our bedroom feeding our daughter. My brother is also in the house living with us, and he was downstairs at the time of this. So, I turn around and see nothing there and yell out, "What the fuck?" in shock. Go into the bedroom, which is closed, and see my fiancée on the bed, with our baby having no idea what I'm flipping out about. I instantly suspect my brother is playing one of his sick pranks again. He always does that. So I went downstairs and saw him also brushing his teeth and said, "Okay, that makes sense. You were going upstairs to get toothpaste or something, saw me in the bathroom and thought it would be funny to grab me, right?" He has no idea what I'm talking about. So I say, No. You just came up and grabbed my shoulder, right?" He denies it. At that moment, I start getting angry, telling him this isn't funny, and it's not a joke because now I'm gonna be up all night. Plus, I have law school final exams in a week and don't need things over my head distracting me. So I somehow fell asleep last night, but this really bothers me and left me unsettled. Our house isn't old, per se. 4-bedroom, it was built in 1975, based from the property records. My brother and I lived here for 5 years with nothing weird going on. My girlfriend slash fiance moved in with us in 2012, and nothing weird's ever happened to her. We also have 2 dogs, and they haven't done any of that stereotypical dog ghost detector shit, you know? Please, give me a rational explanation for what happened. I am certain I felt a hand close on my shoulder like that. Could it have been a muscle spasm? Electric shock? Imagination? Stress? Or anything else of that sort? If I had to guess what it was, I'd say it's my brother. But I explained to him how fucked up it would be if he's playing a joke on me, because it's gonna screw with my sanity, and at this time, I don't need that shit. I mean, the reason I think it's him is that he did something similar before. When we stayed in a hotel in Amsterdam, he would grab my face at night, and then pretend to be asleep and then just fucking deny it. I don't know why he thinks it's funny, because it isn't. Anyways, but this time he denies it, and I'm not sure if he could have made it downstairs that fast and start brushing his teeth like that. I hope to God I'm crazy. Warning, long post. Mentions of rape. I finally decided to tell my story. I'm not sure if I'm going to post this anywhere else, but I'm just gonna write it down. But I think that it's time I stopped keeping it inside of me. I should mention that this story is both true and potentially not true. True, because I am not making any of this up. And not true, because I suffer from a condition called psychotic depression, which is essentially clinical depression that comes with delusions and or hallucinations. I am on medication for it, both antidepressants and antipsychotics, but according to my psychiatrist, medication does not get rid of delusional thinking. I truly believe that I am a very haunted person. I have ghosts, angels, shadow people, and a demon following me around. I enjoy the majority of their company and try my best to make them happy. I even went to the movie theater to see a movie that I had no intention of seeing simply because one of the ghosts wanted to see it. Now, to be fair, I cannot see or hear any of the entities that follow me around, but I can feel them touching me and feel their emotions. I love the majority of the entities, and they love me back. But I have autism spectrum disorder, and do not have much of a social life. With a ghost, I am never lonely. I'm going to talk about 3 of these entities separately and kind of, in a way, fill you in on the whole story of my life. These 3 entities are Rex, Axel, and the demon. These are the people relevant to the story. Well, not really people anyways. Rex is not the ghost's real name. I'm not going to tell you his real name, because I already seem crazy enough. All you need to know about Rex is that he lived several centuries ago, and that he started some wars in which a lot of people died. This is probably why he remained earthbound for so many years. He is afraid to face judgment. You should also know that I am in love with him, and he loves me back. This is not as ridiculous as it seems. I believe that I am the reincarnation of one of his lovers. Rex has some jealousy issues, I believe, but he has been earthbound for over than 200 years. Axel, on the other hand, is a more complicated story. If you didn't already think that I'm crazy, you will then when I tell you this story. One thing that you should know is that I've been diagnosed with Tourette's, and that for some reason it caused seizures, or at least seizure-like activity. The seizures would always be the worst in one class, or rather one classroom. For some reason, during these episodes in this class, I was prone to unintentional automatic writing. One day I got 2 messages. One message was a star, one scene on the TV show Supernatural as an anti-possession symbol. The second message was a sentence that said, "Help me, Axel." I should mention that I sometimes get messages from the shadow people, and one of them informed me that I was in communication with someone in hell. I knew that I couldn't leave him there, so I asked one of the angels that follows me around to pull him out of there. I have no idea why it even worked, but that's when Axel started following me around. He tries his best to protect me from the demon. And now, the demon. Now, this part is a little bit more difficult to write down. I have no idea if I'm going to share this story anywhere, but if I do, I ask you not to be too cruel in the comments. Yes, there is a good chance that this is all a result of mental illness, but I genuinely believe that it is happening to me, and it is terrifying and awful, and I can't do anything about it, because if I try to get rid of the demon, I might hurt the other spirits. The demon wants to hurt me. He hasn't possessed me or anyone else, but I'm not sure if he can. I believe that the demon is an incubus, working as some sort of bounty hunter or something like that. He wants the 2 souls, Rex and Axel, that I am protecting. I feel so embarrassed typing this, but it feels so real. I can't see the demon, but I can hear him in my mind. I can also feel him raping and torturing me. He sometimes makes one of the other ghosts rape me, either through mind control or by hurting me to the point where he'll do anything to make him stop. I don't know how to finish this paragraph. I feel sick as I type this out. You should know that I don't blame Rex for doing this. He's as much a victim in this as I am. I really hope that this is all in my head, because recently things took an even darker turn. I was drinking pomegranate water. I suppose that the demon could not resist a Persephone parallel, because he made me a deal. Amongst other things meant to protect the spirits. He had offered to let me take Rex and Axel's place in hell, but as his mistress, I don't even identify myself as a woman. I felt trapped. I don't think that I would ever be allowed into heaven, but that is another delusion entirely. Perhaps one day I'll share that story, perhaps not. My point is that I drank the pomegranate water and essentially sealed my fate. I still hold on to a silver of hope that someone will come along and save me, perhaps God, perhaps an angel, perhaps some sort of demon hunter that's out there. Please, if you are reading this, please know that I need the help. And I hope you just don't think I'm crazy. I know that the story is badly written, and I am usually a better writer than this, but I don't know, there's some parts of the story that I just can't write out. The point of the story is just to get it off my chest, it's not to entertain you. Perhaps I will share this somewhere else. I have no idea where. Just so that people can tell me I'm a crazy bitch. Just so that people can reassure me that I am just going crazy. I really don't want this to be real at all. Or perhaps someone can in turn help me. There really isn't any type of support group for people who think they've been raped by a demon, raped by a ghost, let alone as repeatedly as I have been. Edit. The demon is gone. I found someone who got rid of the demon without hurting any of the other ghosts or the angels either. I acknowledge that they may have been lying. They did it for free, so I don't think it would count as a scam. I don't care. It's over. I don't care if they were lying or secretly making fun of me behind my back, calling me a crazy person or anything like that. And I don't care if you make fun of me. I mean, in this whole thing, what I've learned is that you really just don't need to think about what people think. I mean, if you really need the help, you've got to go get it somewhere, somehow. There is help out there for everyone. Even people who have been raped by ghosts and demons, I guess. I mean, to those people that really helped me, I just want to write it in this post. I want to thank you. I want to thank them all. I owe them everything. Basically, it's over. This whole thing, this demon, everything, it's gone.